So, Star Wars Rebels takes place between Episode 3 and Episode 4, A New Hope. And it kind of shows us how the rebellion gets started, which, if you think about it, which I never really thought about it before, Luke Skywalker isn't the start of the rebellion. You know, he is sort of the missing link in it all, sort of the chosen one. But the rebellion is strong, and ongoing before he, ever leaves the farm or whatever. So this is pretty cool getting to see kind of, after the Jedi fall, kind of what happens in between the rise of Darth Vader and kind of, whenever Luke becomes a Jedi. So this first episode, titled The Spark of Rebellion. So the opening scene of the first episode, Spark of Rebellion, is of a hologram of Vader talking to a new character that we come to later know as the Inquisitor. This is a really cool character, sort of a Sith-like character who has a double-sided lightsaber, kind of like Darth Maul, only this one's has like a spinning ability, which is really cool. And I've seen action figures and different drawings of it, so it kind of tells us a little bit more about that character. But Vader is telling him that the Emperor wants him to basically look into this new rebellion uprising getting started. And then the next scene, we get to meet our new main characters, the protagonists, if you will. And they're trying to steal like some sort of like a crate of weapons and food from the Empire. And here we meet what I would call the main character, Ezra, who's kind of this misfit kid who we learn doesn't have any parents, and he kind of has a run-in with them trying to steal the same thing, and then they end up kind of rescuing him and taking him into the ship, and that's kind of how our heroes all meet and get together. The thing that I really liked about this part of the episode was the fact that we got to see TIE fighters, and they looked like TIE fighters. They didn't look hand-drawn. That's what I kind of like about this animation style. The computer-generated animation is you really get a lot more detail, and things like ships and stormtroopers. They really look clean and almost CG-like, almost movie quality, which is really cool just to see in action, My one gripe with the animation style, though, is the fact that the characters all have really clunky looking, like almost anime style hair. That's the one gripe I have. Other than that, the ships, the backgrounds, everything else looks great. The lightsabers and the blaster lasers, they have like a glow to them. That's really cool looking. Almost like a video game style. And okay, so then they pick up Ezra and they go deliver the food, and then Ezra realizes that they're not just thieves. So you can kind of see his eyes open up and be like, oh, okay, who are these guys? What's going on? And then you see him run off and go to the ship, and that's when we get a hint that maybe he has some force abilities, that the force is strong with him, and we kind of see the cube. I forget exactly what it's called. The thing that the Jedi store information in. They can only be unlocked by a Jedi. We see that call to him, and then of course the lightsaber, and that's whenever he asks what it is, and he says it's a lightsaber, and he's like, oh, okay, isn't that, the Jedi weapon or whatever. So that was really cool, to kind of see the lightsaber call to him, and you get a hint that, that there's something going on with him and the Force, and that we are going to get some sort of Jedi presence in this series. So the guy they're selling the weapons to tells them where the Wookiees are being taken by the Empire. So they go on a rescue mission, and of course it's a trap. It's a trap, Admiral Akbar style. The Empire's really good at setting traps, apparently. But so Ezra has to go tell them, as they're boarding the Star Destroyer, that it's a trap, and you kind of get to see him struggle with caring for himself, or caring about others and protecting himself, and kind of that internal, struggle between him. And he ultimately does the right thing, and then gets, not betrayed, but he feels like, okay, they left me here on the Star Destroyer and hightailed it, and then they realize that they left him there, and they immediately come back and rescue him. I mean, that was a cool scene. You got to see, I like the scene of him putting on the helmet and, kind of tricking them and telling them to go one way. That was kind of cool, and kind of gave you a feeling that, okay, this kid might be kind of an orphan, kind of a misfit, but he is smart, as well as having, being strong with the Force too. And then after Ezra gets rescued, he tells them, I overheard where the Wookiees are actually being taken, and this is a really cool part of the episode, because they go and rescue the Wookiees, and it's cool to see Wookiees, definitely, but the really part that gave me a little bit of like goosebumps and like, oh wow, yeah, this is definitely Star Wars, this is cool, is when they're pinned down, they're getting fired upon, and I think he says like, I'm gonna pull a 22 pickup or something like that. And this scene is really cool because we see Kanan, the sort of Jedi Padawan guy, bust out the lightsaber and be like, hey kid, I'm about to let everyone in on the secret here. So then he, puts his lightsaber together and goes out there and starts, dodging the blaster fire and blocking it with the lightsaber. And you see the main, I'm not sure what he is, admiral guy or whatever, kind of pause, and everybody kind of pauses, and then he's like, concentrate fire on the Jedi, and it's like this, this really cool, like, Jedi survived, this is really cool, and here comes the rebellion. Overall, I really liked this first pilot episode, and not gonna lie, I've already seen a couple of the next episodes, and they're really cool too. Like, the story just keeps getting better and better and more Star Wars-esque. But if nothing else, I really like just seeing some ships, seeing stormtroopers, seeing the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor is really cool. Might be one of the best parts about this series. And another cool thing is this ties into A New Hope really well. Because this is part of canon now, so that's really cool. And knowing that this isn't just an offshoot, expanded universe thing that isn't really ever going to come into play. So that's really cool. And there's hints, spoiler alert, that maybe the Inquisitor has some sort of a role in Episode 7 coming out next year. And those are just really vague rumors, so who knows? Or at least there's some reference to him in Episode 7, maybe. But but overall, I really like this episode, and the next few are really good too. So if you haven't seen them, definitely watch them. I would probably, as far as an animated show goes, I would probably give this maybe an 8 or a 9. It's not perfect. Like I said, the hair really bothers me for some reason. I don't know why I can't get over that. But it's really good. So far, I like it better than Clone Wars. I haven't seen all the Clone Wars episodes, but this definitely feels more like Star Wars. And it's nice to see some new characters. And I think that's what really makes me able to buy into this, being animated and not, an actual film, is because these are all characters that we don't really know. You're able to kind of suspend your disbelief, and like in the Clone Wars, you're constantly like, well, okay, that's not Yoda, that's not Anakin, that's not Obi-Wan. I know what Obi-Wan looks like, and that's an animated Obi-Wan. Here, at least, these are new characters, so you're able to kind of, it's your first impression. So, okay, maybe that is Ezra, maybe that is Kanan, because you don't have anything else to, reference it to. So maybe that makes it a little easier to buy into. I'm not a psychologist. But anyways, definitely check this out. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more reviews of Star Wars Rebels.